All right, so good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our second Zoom session. We started looking at problem solving, steps in problem solving. We looked at outlining the solutions to the problems in terms of pseudocode and also creating flowcharts, which is a diagram representation of the solution. All right, I had asked some persons, I asked the groups to work on the pseudocodes that you created and put them in a flowchart and upload it. I've seen the one that Tariq and Sherian uploaded, and that was fine. I didn't comment on it, but that looks fine. So what we're going to continue, I just want to do some basic. What I'm going to do is introduce you to the Pascal programming language. I know Sherian teaches it. I am not sure if Tariq is familiar with Pascal. I know Desma isn't. I'm not sure about Nardia.
Never heard of Pascal in my life.
Never, okay. What about you, Nardia?
No, I'm not really familiar with that language.
Okay. All right. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go through, we're going to talk about some basic components in the program, and then we're going to look at the syntax of Pascal itself, and then we're going to move into creating some very simple programs. Okay? All right, so there is a presentation that looks at, it says Introduction to Pascal. Let me just share this. All right, so I hope everybody's seeing this. All right, so it's a programming language. Pascal is a programming language, and it's made up of algebraic-like expressions and certain English words, right? I think it's a pretty simple language to use, and I think because of that, they've selected this as a language that they teach to the students to introduce them to programming. All right, so again, I'm going to skip through some parts of it. So the program has two main parts: the declaration part, where you state all the things that you will use in the program, and the statement part where all the actions will occur. Now, for declaration, you have to know what kind of calculations, what kind of tasks, what kind of operations, rather, will occur. So let's take, for example, when we're calculating the average of 3 numbers or 4 numbers. We will be doing some addition, we will be doing some division. But what are the things that we need? Now, this is where you have variables and constants. A variable is any item that will change over a period of time, okay? So, or it is likely to change. So when you're asking for persons to input anything, you have to use a variable, because you cannot define what the person will put in. If you're asking users to input a number, for example, their age, you cannot tell what age it will be. So you cannot assign it a value. It will change, and hence it is a variable. Follow? Now, a constant is something that holds a value that doesn't change. For example, pi, which is 22/7 or 3.14 something. That doesn't change. Pi has always been and will forever be that number. Another example for now, GCT for us is 16.7%. So that can be a constant also. Okay? Following? Yes? All right. So I'm going to use Desma as my indicator because I'm not seeing any other faces. All right. So that's the difference between variables and constants. So it's as if you are creating these items to hold these particular values, right? So we have variables, we have constants. Now, they have to be of specific data types. Scrolling. All right, so they have to be of specific data types. So we know that there are different types of data because we have words, we have numbers, and so on. So a number, for example, can be a whole number or it can be a number with a decimal value. If it's a whole number, then it's of data type integer. If it's one that has decimal value, then it's of data type real. These are just some of the terms that we use. These are some of the keywords that we use in Pascal, right? So once you say, you declare the variable as integer, you cannot input a word. You cannot input letters. It is expecting a whole number. Follow? No, Desma? Yes?
Follow, we follow.
Following? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. All right. So we have integer for whole numbers, real for numbers with decimal places, char for character, and Boolean is dual value, so that would be like a yes or no, right? You also have string if it's a list of, not a list, but a set of characters. For example, a word would be string, right? Character is just one single character, or char, sorry, is one single character. So it can be a T, can be a Y, can be a P. It can also be a dollar sign. That is also a character. Okay? A space is also a character. All right? But a string now would be a set of characters. For example, a first name, a last name. Okay? Or even a sentence. All right. All right, so those are the basic data types that we have. Integer, real, char, Boolean, and we have string. Now, if you see in the presentation, you'll notice we have array, but I won't go into array because arrays are different. Arrays are actually, they'll be like a set of different variables. So I'll have to look at that in a different class, okay? So we're just going to focus on those 5 data types that I mentioned. All right, so I'm jumping over the place. So these are the arithmetic operators that we have: addition, subtraction, multiplication, and these are the symbols that we use. Now you'll notice there's a slash for real number division, which means that when you use a slash, the value you get will be a number with a decimal place. When you use div, the value you get will be a number, a whole number, right? And mod, it gives the remainder when you divide one number by another number. So for example, if I divide 14 by 3, mod will give me 2, because that's the remainder I get. Right? So that's the purpose of these different operators. And of course, when in doubt, you can test them to see if what I'm saying actually makes sense, right? We're going to get an opportunity to try them. All right. There are also what you call relational operators. Right, here they are. Relational operators. So we have the equal to, not equal to, less than or equal to, greater than and greater than or equal to. So these are also operators that we use, right? All right, now, some of the other keywords we have, and pardon me, I'm going back and forth. Some of the other keywords that we have, the first ones I'm highlighting here, begin and end. Begin and end are very important. So wherever begin is, that's where the program starts, and where end, that's where it ends. Those are actually the statements. The first thing though we write in the program is the word program and whatever you're naming the program, right? So I like to do it so that you have you see exactly what I'm talking about. But I'm going to touch on one more thing before I start. Identifiers. These are the names of the variables and the constants that we create. So it gives a guideline here. You can contain letters and digits. You can also have underscores in there, but the first character must be a letter. Whatever it is, whatever you name it, the first character must be a letter. All right, and you cannot have a blank space in a name, right? All right, so let us look at some of the other statements that we have. Remember, we have input and output. The read, we have read statement, read line statement, read ln. We have write statement and write ln. Now, read and read ln are very similar. The difference is that with read ln, it takes you to, it actually, if you're running the program and you put read, it will, once the program has run, it will exit the screen. If you put read ln, it will pause, so you'll be able to see what the program does, right? With it, it's better when I demonstrate it. With write and write ln, write actually, and by the way, read is the input when it accepts a value into the variable. That's what read does. For write, write displays whatever it is you want to the screen. So whatever it is you want to be displayed on the screen, you use write or write ln. When you use write ln or write line, what happens is that the cursor will move to a new line, as opposed to if you use just write, the cursor will end up in the same line that you had the last statement. Okay? These might sound technical and too much information right now, but I'm just trying to give you an idea of what the difference is. Of course, as I said, the best thing is to demonstrate, right? All right, so we're going to take one of the examples. All of this, of course, is here, and I placed another link for you to go through, to take you through a series of lessons in Pascal. So we're going to go through and do an example. All right, so the first one, if you take all right, are you seeing my screen?
Not as yet.
Yeah, I see it.
You can see it? Okay. All right, now this is a basic, what I'm putting here is a basic program, and it only has an input and output statement. That's all. It doesn't do any calculation or anything. So if you notice at the top, the first line is the name of the program. So it says program, and you put a name for the program. And you end with a semicolon. Okay? Then the keyword begin. That's the start of where the actions will take place. The second line, write. Now write puts whatever you put in that bracket to the screen. That is what will be displayed, right? So it says, hello world, prepare to learn Pascal. And if you want this to be displayed, you have to put it in single quotation. Okay, so this is text. Close bracket and you have your semicolon again. Read line will allow the program to pause so that you can see what is displayed once it's run. And end, that's the end of the program. No further statements, all right? So I'm going to run this as it is. I'm going to make some changes and you'll see what I'm talking about. All right, so as is, run the program. Can you see where the cursor is beside Pascal exclamation? You see where the cursor is flashing, right? Okay. All right, now if I stop right here, if I put ln beside right, sorry. And run it again. Can you see where the cursor is flashing this time? See?
Second line.
Right, so it goes to a new line. So that's the main difference between right and right ln, right line, right? Now if I'm going to take out ln beside read. Okay, so I'm going to stop this. Now I'm sorry, what I want you to do, I want you to get one of the Pascal compilers. So you can get Easy Pascal, it's free. You can also get Dev Pascal. I think it's Bloodshed Dev Pascal. That is also a good one. And it's also free. So you can download and install any of those and you can write your programs and run them, okay? And if, of course, you're having a problem, you can let me know. All right, so I said I'm going to take out ln out of read. So I'm going to take it out. I am going to run this. All right. Let me see if it accepts it this way. Mm-hmm. All right, so this version, let me put back the ln. Okay. All right, so different versions work different ways. I need to get a Bloodshed. I need a Dev Pascal works differently. All right, let us work with this. All right, so you can try it. If you get Dev Pascal, you can try it and you see. So those two minor things, they're not that important, but I just needed you to know why you have a write line and a read, write, and you have a read and a read line, okay? All right, so that is our input and output. Now, let's say we wanted to do simple calculation. All right, so we're going to do one where we calculate the sum, simple thing. We're going to calculate the sum of 3 numbers, okay? So let us start. The first thing we must do is write the word program and the name of the program. So let's call this addition. And we put our semicolon. Following? Yes, ma'am. The other thing, hand up, Desmond? No? Okay, I thought Desmond had something to say. All right. Now, unlike the previous program, we didn't do any calculations. But this one, we're going to do some calculations, so we have to declare some variables. So this is where our declaration takes place before we put begin. Now, if we're calculating 3, we're adding 3 numbers. What kind of variables we need? How many variables, rather, do we need? Anyone?
Three numbers and the plus signs.
All right, so we need 3 numbers. All right, so the plus is the operator. What we're going to, so we start, this is what we do. We put var, okay? var indicates that it's a variable. Okay, follow? var indicates that it's a variable. And then we're going to put, let's name them. Yes.
My connection is really bad. So if I might be here sticking sometimes. So if you're asking me a question, I might not hear.
Oh,
Okay. It's ridiculous today. I'm not sure if it's the weather. It is.
okay.
But I'm still there.
All right. We're seeing, but the audio is not.
Yes. Sometimes you're just being stuck, then you come back. Yeah.
All right. Okay. All right. No problem. You if anything, you can look at the video. All right. So we're declaring now our 3 numbers. Num1, num2, comma, num3. Do we need any other variables?
Need some.
We need sum. All right. So we need one more called sum. So we need 4 variables. All right. Now, after you've listed your variables, you put your data type, which in this case is integer. Follow? All right. I'm going to take that as a yes.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. You can give me a
Sorry, what would be the integer?
Sorry? If it won't be an integer, I'm not hearing. All right. If anything, you can always send me something in the chat. All right. So we've declared our 4 variables, and we're now ready. So we write begin. All right. Sorry, 1 second. Okay. All right, beautiful. So we put begin here. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's capital B or common. Doesn't matter. All right. Now, whatever it goes, whatever we want to be done, we put below this word. All right. Now, what is the first thing we're going to do? Remember, we want, in this case, we want persons to enter numbers that we're going to use. So what is the first thing we're going to write in our program?
You want the user to enter the numbers? You want to ask them for the numbers?
All right. Thank you, Sherian. Welcome. All right. So what statement do we put? What keyword do we put if we want that to go to the screen?
Right?
Read long enter or
We put write. Write sends it to the screen. Read actually takes it as an input. So write is for outputting and read is for input. All right, so we put write first. And remember, we have to put our single quotation. Please enter the first number. That one. We can put that, and that. All right, follow? Okay. Okay, what next? Now we ask them to enter the number. How are we going to input now that number, first number, into our first variable? Repeat that.
Read now. Allow them to enter the number and read.
Okay. So we're going to read, and we're going to put this into num1. So what we're doing here, the value, whatever number that is entered, goes into num1, or is assigned to num1. Follow? Yes? All right. Okay, so I'll work with read line. I'll work with that. All right, so, you know, I kind of like when we use a shortcut. If we're going to do this for 3 numbers, I'm just going to copy and paste and change it. So for the second number, I know we like to work harder, but I like to work smarter. So I'm just making a few changes there. So first number, second number, third number. All right, so that's it. So we've asked them now to enter the 3 numbers. What next? What is the next step?
Is that where we add or find the sum?
All right.
Find the sum of all the numbers.
All right. So how do we write that? Can you assist me in writing that? How would you write that?
Sum. Numbers 1, 2, 3, or
We have to put an operator between colon and equal.
Num1.
Colon and equal. If you put the equal sign, it is doing somewhat of a comparison. So if you put equal sign alone, it is doing somewhat of a comparison. If you put colon with this equal, they're doing the calculation and assigning it to that variable.
well, why is the space between sum and the semicolon?
Semicolon, you don't have to put a space there.
Okay, thanks.
Yes. All right, so sum equal, colon equal. What's next?
Number 1.
Num1 plus
Num2 plus Num3.
plus num3. Okay? And what do we want to put after that? So right there, it is doing the calculation. What do we do with the calculation after that now?
Should we read it?
You want to read it? Well, you're assigning it to whatever calculation, whatever you get, you're assigning it to the variable sum. So sum is going to hold that value. But what
You're going to print sum.
you're going to print sum. All right. So how do we print it? Go again.
Keyword print and sum in our bracket and stuff like that.
All right. But in this case, right line is what we do.
Oh, sorry. Yes.
Yes. That's okay. No need to be sorry.
I'm
No
talking
need
to
to be sorry.
Yes, right line and you put sum.
All right. So we're going to put here the sum of the three numbers is, all right? I put a space and I put that. And I put a comma. And I'm going to put the word sum. So what will happen here, it will print the text as is, the sum of the three numbers is, along with the space after the colon, and then after that space, it will print whatever value is in sum. So you notice sum is by itself, is separated by a comma, is by itself, it's not in quotation marks. If I'm printing the word sum, it's printing the value that sum is holding. Hello?
Eric, your mic is not.
Oh. Yes. And maybe I tuned it out, you know, I was hearing it, but I was just, yeah. So are you following? Yes?
Yes.
All right. And then we end by putting our read line. And the last thing you must put is an end with a full stop. So I just wanted to look at that briefly. So we have three statements asking for the user's input, and each of those are followed by a statement that assigns the value to the variable we created. So it creates the shell, and whatever they enter, it puts it into that shell, that container. And then it does the calculation, and then we print it to the screen. Okay? All right, so let us see now. I'm going to run it to see how it works. All right, so are you seeing it at the top in green? It says, please enter the first number, so we put 34. Enter the second number, we put 56. Third number, we put 71. And the sum of the three numbers is, bam. All right.
Nice, I like that.
Okay. All right, so we stop. All right, so that program is just to calculate the sum of three numbers. All right, so what I want now, how can we adjust this program to calculate the average of the three numbers? What kind of adjustments would we make to calculate the average of three numbers?
Or add another variable for average.
All right, so we add another variable for average. All right, so what kind of data type are we thinking about here?
A real number.
A real number. All right, so if it's going to be real, we put it in a separate line. All right, so let us call this average. And then real. All right, now we have the number, we have the real number. I'm going to ask, don't speak yet, Sharian. I am going to ask, Ronald is here. Hi, Ronald. Not hearing Ronald at all. Desma, are you there?
I am for the time.
Okay, all right. So can you tell me what other change do I need to make to the program? We're now going to use, we're changing it, so not only to calculate the sum, but to calculate the average. What other change do I need to make to this program?
Well, this is the part where we have to are we supposed to begin again?
No, we don't need to. We already have this. This as it is calculates the sum of the three numbers, right?
So we're now trying to find the average.
The average. So tell me what changed. We just need to add just one line.
I would have removed end, full stop, and include, I would write.
Tell me what you write.
Write ln, no, write ln, open bracket, the average of the three.
But what do you need? You can't write ln yet because you haven't calculated it yet.
Oh, that's true.
Right. So what do we need to put into this now for the calculation?
So I'll have to enter the total. But how would I average?
Would you
Help me out, Tarek.
Would you sort of follow the same equation above? Would you put like average equals semicolon?
Average equal.
No, average semicolon equals sum divided by 3.
All right. So sum divided by 3. So we already calculated the sum. So we're using that same value to calculate the average.
So now do you put semicolon or?
Right. Okay. So, and what else?
Change the display to be the average of the three numbers is L, average.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to keep that in there, and I'm just going to put this, the average of the three numbers. And then where it says sum, I'm going to put average. All right. All right, so we're going to compile that. No errors. Okay, so let's run that and see what happens. All right, so let's get some numbers. 45. Okay. 63. 21. All right, so the sum of the three numbers is 129. And the average is 4.300 exponential. Now
That's incorrect, so something's wrong.
something is wrong? Okay, all right, I'll tell you why. It's supposed to be 43 point something, but what happens is you have to set now, this is the thing about Pascal, you're going to have to put in a little thing to state the format in which you want the number displayed, because or else it will give you in this format, right?
Right.
So what I'm going to do here, stop this so I can make the change. At the point where we're displaying the average, we put a colon here, and we put, let's put 3 for 3 digits in the for the first part of the number, and before the decimal point, and 3 after the decimal point. All right? I know it's a lot. Take it in. Don't worry, what I'll do, I can copy this into Word for you so you can look at it and post it. I'll post it, upload it in Orvally so you can look at it and you can run it and you can test it.
Desmond, we need Jesus, Desmond.
You need that?
We need Jesus, Desmond.
I know. think Miss Berry needs to come to my country.
No, practice with all the links and so on. Practice, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. All right, so I'm going to try that. All right, and let's run it again. So let us take 52, 53, 67, and you see the numbers there. All right. So you see, you notice the format of the number changes. So it will have, it's three numbers before the decimal and 3 numbers after the decimal place. Right? Okay. All right, I'm going to pause right
You must be so precise to get the results you want.
Yes, yes. That is it, you know. Remember, the computer can only do what you tell it to do. Can only do what you tell it to do. You can't, it won't estimate anything, can't assume anything, can't use its feeling to judge and determine anything. Whatever you say it to do, it will do. All right, so questions. Anybody has a question?
I have no questions just now.
No questions? Okay. Nadia, we're okay?
Okay, I have one question.
Oh, you have one question. Sorry, Tariq. Yes, go ahead.
That missing line doesn't do anything to your programming, or?
No, as in the space? No, it doesn't.
Okay.
No. Any other questions? No? All right. All right, let us do one more example. All right, so we're going to use, let me save that program in a Word document for you. And we're going to use the example that Tariq and Sharian used to do the that you used to do the flow chart. All right, so here we go now. We're going to check if, we're going to enter student marks, and we're going to check if it's greater than 60. That was the example. And if it is greater than 60, then the student would have passed. Otherwise, the student would have failed. Okay? All right, so let's name this program. We can use underscore, so I put pass underscore fail.
Professor, would that be the identifier or?
At the top? At the very top, that's just the name of the program. You have to name it.
So what's the identifier in the?
Oh, the identifiers would be the variables, the names like num1, num2, num3.
Okay.
Right.
All right, thank you.
Yes. I appreciate how you've given me professorship already.
Call it into existence.
Yes, I claim it. Thank you. All right, so we have pass, fail. So in this case, how many variables do you think we need? Remember, they're entering 1 mark We are testing to see if that mark is greater than 60, and we'll say whether or not the person passed or failed. How many variables do you think we need?
1.
1? Okay. So we put var. And what are you going to call this variable?
Test mark or
Test mark. That's fine. And if it's 1, what's the data type, Desmond? It's a percentage that someone got in their test. So what data type would you use? Okay, Desmond. Are you hearing me, Desmond?
In and out, what did you say?
Okay, all right. I'm saying what data type would you use for test mark?
Integer.
All right, integer. All right, and we close that off with our semicolon. Now we could also, with our 60, what we could have done is declared, we could have initiated or declared a constant. We could have declared a constant. And in that case, what? All right, so I'm going to declare a constant here, so we see how it's used. So we put const. And this time we're going to call this pass mark. And we say equal. What is the pass mark? In this case, what is the pass mark?
60.
It's 60. All right. $60. And we close off here. Sharianne, are you with us?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, all right.
To unmute my mic while I was saying yes.
Okay, okay. And Nadia, are you with us?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. I noticed that Ronald stepped out. All right, so we're going to start now. So the first thing we put, Nadia, what do we put here now that we're ready?
I'm going to put the if statement there.
There's something we have to put first before we can start to do any sort of action.
We're going to prompt them to enter the grade.
All right, we're going to put begin. That's the
Oh,
first.
sorry, yes.
Again, no need to be sorry. All right, and then tell me what you said a while ago.
Yes, it's either we're going to write line or we're going to, I don't know if we want it to prompt or just start with the if statement.
All right, so we're going to write line, and then what are we asking them to?
We're going to enter the task mark. Please enter
The grade
grade.
of the student. Whatever you want to put, whatever, as long as it is understood. All right? All right, so that is what they're going to enter the grade of the student, or the student's grade. I think that sounds better. Right. After that, what happened?
Read line.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna read line.
Yes.
Colon.
What we put in there? What goes in bracket? Test mark.
I thought that was pass mark, you know, left screen is saying fine.
Oh, it's you're not seeing it properly? All right, so test mark is the variable, is that value that they are going to enter. Pass mark is constant. All right, so we put our semicolon. And what do we do now?
Now, do we put the formula?
Go,
Put in a condition for grade.
all right, so we put in a condition. What are you, go again?
Put in a condition for the pass mark.
All right, so we're going to put in a condition. So we're going to test it. So we're going to use our relational operator. Tariq, you were saying something?
Put in a formula, but the condition is the correct word. So yeah.
Okay. All right, so we're going to put if what are we testing here? What are we testing? Anybody? We're checking to see if.
The task mark is above 60.
All right, so we have, so if test mark is greater than pass mark, that's what we're testing. If the test mark is greater than pass mark. Follow?
Yeah.
Yes? All right. All right, so we put here if, and we're testing test mark greater than pass mark. That's what we're checking. Then, so what we're doing now, we're doing if then else. So we have if, then, but with a statement like this, we have to have begin. Okay? Because it has a whole section, different sets of actions that will occur within that test. So it tests, and if it is true, it will perform one task. If it is not true, it will perform another task. So begin, if test mark greater than pass mark, then you're going to, I'm going to try and use some of the words that you use, right, Line? It is true, the student has passed. Are you following?
Now would you write another condition?
No, since it's only two options, then you don't need another condition. Sharon, are you with us?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. What goes next?
Say something like, if not, then student has not passed.
All right.
Or you could just use the else word.
Else? Mm-hmm.
That is only two options. Else, right line,
Just put it here.
student failed.
You're pretty sharp, Nadia.
Yeah.
Not at all.
The students did not pass or student failed?
Yeah, failed, yeah.
Yes. All right.
I think we should say test mark greater than or equal to 60 instead of only greater than
All right, so greater than,
or
equal.
equal.
Greater than, equal to. It shouldn't matter whether or not there's a space. All right, so after you've completed all your statements, you must put an end. Once you have a begin, you must have an end. But this case, it's not a full stop, it's a semicolon.
I just restarted my the Intel modem. Why did we put another begin
Whether
after
put
that?
a begin and an end?
No, after then. I see begin once again. I'm
Yeah.
asking why, because I did not get that box.
All right, so when you're using the control structures, which if then else, for loops, you're going to do loops, which will calculate, do a number of, do a specific operation or a set of operations until whatever time, maybe 10 times and so on. These are control structures. And once you have these, you might have one particular step that must be done, or 2 or 3 steps. You will have your begin and you will have your end, and you will list those steps within that, right? So that will be, these steps will be related, directly related to the control structure. All right, so I feel like I lost Desma a while ago, but I needed
And
to.
I got the internet connection bad again. So I guess I might have to just bend that one on my own.
Repeat that.
I'm still losing internet connection, although I restarted the modem.
Okay, okay. All right, but what would be good if you...
So I might have to learn that one, or probably Sherry might probably have to teach me. Because I still did not get why you wrote begin twice. When you were explaining, I got stuck again.
Okay. All right, because once you have, there are certain things that once you enter them in the program, you have your loops, you have your if then else. Once you have those, you have your begin and you have your end to close off that particular section of the program.
Okay.
All right. All right, so we've tested it now. And is there anything else we need to add to this? It's going to print whether or not the student passed or the student failed. Is there anything else we need to add to this?
Full stop after and? No.
All right, so we're going to put read ln, and then we're going to put our end right here. All right. All right, so let us see now if we're going to compile this. All right, now it says something is expected.
Are you supposed to have and twice or no?
All right, so let me leave that. Please enter the student grade.
Finish. Yeah. And I queue Maurice for the last sector.
Sorry. Someone spoke? All right, so I took out the student grade because it's seeing the single quotation. Maybe I should have put it the other way around, enter the grade. All right, let's see if this, all right.
Are you allowed to have N twice or no?
Yes. One is end for the if then else, and one is end for the program. All right, this is giving me an error. Give me 1 second, please. One second. All right, the thing about now, this is where debugging is important. If there is one little error, it will not run. So let me just see what the issue is. All right, so let me take this out. Let me see if this is the issue. No. But I'm having one little issue, one error somewhere in this compiler. All right, I'm sorry about that, the delay. I am not certain what the error is. Sharianne, maybe your eyes.
You want to try to move the begin and the end before the then? Not the then. If then. Let me see the screen again. Yeah, let's try after the then. Try and remove the begin and end and the semicolon after the first right line.
They begin and they?
Yeah, try taking those out and then the semicolon after the first right line. Let me see if that'll work.
All right, so I've taken that out.
Yeah.
And you're suggesting to take this out?
Let's just try to see because we're only really doing one set of things.
All right, so let us see. All right, so we're good. Okay?
Yay.
All right, thank you very much. All right, so we only did one thing, as Sherian said. So we didn't need that. If you're doing more than one comparisons, then that would be helpful, right? All right.
Yes,
thanks,
I
Sherian.
forgot to change the use of my word thing, but use the right word.
Repeat that.
No, I said I used the word thing, but you used the right word comparison.
All right, that's okay. I think we all understand what you meant. All right.
What did you change? What did you change just now?
All right, so we took out the begin and the end.
Okay.
And the end is out. And we took out the semicolon after the first right line.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, so I'm running it. It says enter the grade for the student. I'm going to enter 45. All right, so the student failed. Are you seeing it? All right, so we stop that. Let's run it again. Let's enter 65. Student passed. Okay, let's stop that. So let us try 60 on the dot. Student passed. All right. Questions? Any questions?
Well, I'm just studying it right now.
Okay.
So yeah. So when we write line, it's whatever we want to write on the screen.
Right. So when we're putting out there on the screen, we use right line.
When we're writing read line, is what we're supposed to be adding in, like the number 60.
Whatever we want to be putting. When we create variables, remember, when we create variables, they are containers to hold data. When we use read line, whatever the users enter, we are using read line to put it into the container. Follow? So,
Okay,
so within the bracket, we put the name of the variable that we want that value to be assigned to. All right. Any other questions? No? All right. I think part of it is just to get familiar with the syntax of Pascal, right? And the other part is really is practice. It will really come through practice, right? So we're going to look at some other things in the next session, which will be Tuesday. Do you want me to move it from 4 to 4:30? Is that a better time? Because let me get some feedback.
It's a good time for Bermuda because it's like 6 Bermuda time. We be 6 to 9. So.
Okay.
It's up to you guys. It's up to you guys.
Oh, it's a good. All right. So, what I will do, I won't keep it so long, Tariq. So maybe 4:30 to just do 2 hours. 4:30 to 6:30 my time, which would be 6:30 to 8:30 your time.
That's fine.
All right. So I'll start at 4:30 on Tuesday. Okay, Desma, good with that?
Oh, I'm good with any day you give. I'm there. Important.
Sherry, and that's okay with you?
Yes, that's perfect with me.
All right. Nardia, how about you?
It's okay. Thank you too.
Okay. And Sashana, I noticed that you joined us. Is Sashana still here? No. I'm not seeing Sashana. Okay. All right. So she was here and she stepped out. All right. So, all right. I hope that you would have learned something today, and you would have been able to. I want you to practice the first activity sheet that you got. Let me tell you what it says. In the first activity sheet, you are going to at least attempt number, under section 2, numbers 1 and 2. So it says EDIT 5001 week 1 activity. And I want you to attempt numbers 1 and 2. Okay?
So should we download Def Pascal or
In
Easy?
Pascal. So you do the pseudocode first. What I really want you to do is pseudocode and flowchart, but you can do the pseudocode first and then do the Pascal. All right.
Okay.
All right. So you try those two. Okay. All right. So are there any other issues, any questions, problems that you're having?
If I want to replay back this session, where do I go to replay?
All right. So I will have to get information on that. And I promised that I would have started a WhatsApp group to give you guys information. I will do that and post it there. So I will get the information, but as I said before, what they have been doing is really posting it to YouTube. I think it's Jamaica Education Partners is the username. But you can search for the course, use the course code, and you can search and you should, there are some videos already out there. But if you use the course code and search, then maybe you will see. They haven't posted the first one yet. So I will have to tell you when you'll be available. Sorry?
I should go to YouTube and type in the
Yes,
code.
and search using the course code.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, any other issues? No? Okay. All right, thank you very much for participating this evening. I hope this was helpful. And again, please look at the assignments to see what they require. The dates are just a guide. I will have to change them because based on our start date and so on. So I just need you to start working on the assignments. And if you're having an issue, then you can tell me and I see how we can work. All right? All right, have a good evening. And I will see you on Tuesday at 4:30 my time.
Okay, bye.
Take care.
Bye.
Good night.
Good night. Bye.